would you do if you discovered your wife had been sleeping with your own cousin and the same man who stood as your best man at your wedding, and the 4-year-old boy you loved more than life itself? The boy you thought was your son was actually his. That single moment shattered my entire world. My name is Alex. Emily and I had been married for 6 years. We had a beautiful son named Noah, who I raised from the day he was born. I was there for every late-night feeding, every doctor visit, every first step. I loved that boy with everything I had. Then one ordinary afternoon I picked up Emily's phone to check the time and saw messages that destroyed me. She had been having a full-blown affair with my cousin Jake for years. The DNA test I secretly took confirmed my worst nightmare. Noah was not biologically mine. The pain hit me like a truck. I sat in my car for hours, tears streaming down my face, thinking about all the nights I had rocked him to sleep, all the soccer games, all the times I called him my son. The betrayal from both my wife and my own cousin, my best friend, was unbearable. Instead of exploding and confronting them right then, I made a cold, calculated decision. I wasn't going to lose my son or destroy my life in one emotional moment. I saved every message, every photo, every piece of evidence, and continued playing the perfect, loving father while quietly building my business and preparing for the future. For the next 3 years, I raised Noah as my own, loved him fiercely, and acted like nothing was wrong. Every time Jake came over for family barbecues and played with his son, it took everything inside me not to lose control. Emily thought she had gotten away with it. Jake thought he was untouchable. But I was waiting patiently, getting stronger financially every single day. The emotional weight I carried every single night was crushing. But my love for Noah kept me going. If you've ever been betrayed by the 2 people you trusted most in this world, drop a in the comments right now. This true revenge story is just getting started. Those next 3 years of raising Noah as my own son while knowing the truth were the hardest thing I have ever done in my life. Every single day I looked at that little boy's face and felt both overwhelming love and deep pain at the same time. I was there for every soccer practice, every bedtime story, every nightmare he had in the middle of the night. I loved him like he was my own blood because in my heart he was. Meanwhile, Emily continued her secret affair with Jake, thinking she was so clever. Jake would come over for family barbecues, play with Noah in the backyard, and slap me on the back like we were still best friends. It took everything inside me not to lose control. I stayed completely calm on the outside, acted like the perfect husband and father, and quietly built my construction business from the ground up. I worked long hours, saved every extra dollar, and made sure I was financially strong for what was coming. At the same time, I kept collecting more evidence, messages, hotel receipts, secret photos, and even recordings of phone calls where Emily and Jake laughed about how easy it was to fool me. Every night after putting Noah to bed, I would sit in my home office reviewing the proof, feeling the weight of the betrayal crushing my chest, but I never showed it. I knew if I confronted them too early, I could lose custody of Noah, so I waited patiently, smiled through family dinners, and continued being the best father I could be to the boy who didn't share my DNA but had my whole heart. The emotional torture of pretending everything was normal while my wife was sleeping with my cousin was almost unbearable, but my love for Noah kept me going every single day. I built a strong financial foundation so that when the time came, I would be able to fight for full custody and keep the house we built together. Emily and Jake thought they had the perfect secret. They had no idea I was preparing to take everything from them. If this story is already making you feel the pain and anger, comment betrayed below. The moment I finally made my move changed everything. By the end of those 3 years, I had everything ready. My business was doing well. I had saved a significant amount of money, and my file of evidence against Emily and Jake was ironclad. I waited until Noah turned 7 and was old enough to handle some changes. Then one quiet evening after putting him to bed, I sat Emily down in the living room and told her I knew everything. I showed her the DNA test results first. Her face went completely pale. Then I played the recordings of her conversations with Jake, showed the hotel receipts, the messages, and every piece of proof I had collected over the years. She tried to deny it at first, crying and saying it was a mistake, but the evidence was undeniable. I told her I was filing for divorce the next morning and that I would be seeking full custody of Noah. She begged me not to do it, saying Jake didn't want to be a father and that it would destroy our family. But I had already made my decision. When I filed the papers, I included everything: the long-term affair, the deception about Noah's paternity, and how she had betrayed our marriage for years. Jake was shocked when he received the court documents. He tried calling me, acting like we could work something out as family, but I didn't answer. The divorce battle was ugly, but my evidence was too strong. The judge granted me full custody of Noah because of the proven long-term deception and infidelity. I also kept the house we had built together. Emily was devastated. Jake was ordered to pay child support every month for the son he had never publicly claimed. Now every month I receive a payment from my own cousin for the boy I raised as my own. The satisfaction of watching both of them lose everything while I kept the son I loved more than anything was overwhelming. Noah still calls me dad, and that's all that matters to me. Emily and Jake's secret relationship fell apart once everything came out in court. If this story has you feeling the weight of the betrayal, comment custody below. The way I turned the tables completely changed our lives. The divorce battle was brutal, but the evidence I had collected over those years made it impossible for Emily to fight back effectively. The judge was clearly disturbed by the long-term deception and the fact that she had let me raise another man's child as my own for so many years. When the final ruling came down, I was awarded full physical and legal custody of Noah. The house we had bought together stayed with me as well. Emily was given visitation rights, but only under supervision because of the proven manipulation. Jake, who had been so smug for years thinking he had gotten away with everything, was ordered to pay child support every single month for the son he had never publicly acknowledged. Every time I receive that payment from my own cousin, it feels like a quiet victory. Noah still calls me dad, and that's all that matters to me. He knows nothing about the biological truth, and I plan to keep it that way until he is much older. Emily tried to apologize many times after the divorce, crying about how she made a terrible mistake, but I kept my distance. Jake disappeared from our lives almost completely once the child support order came through. He couldn't handle the shame of paying me every month for the boy he helped create in secret. I focused all my energy on being the best father I could be to Noah. We moved forward together, creating new memories in the house that almost got taken from us. I never regretted the 3 years I spent raising him in silence. Those years made him truly my son in every way that matters. The pain of the betrayal is still there on some nights, but watching Noah grow up happy and loved makes it all worth it. This experience taught me that sometimes the greatest revenge isn't loud or violent. It's taking back what was stolen from you and protecting the child you love with everything you have. If this story is hitting you hard, comment custody below. The peace we finally found after all the chaos is something I never want to lose again. Today, Noah is 7 years old and thriving in a stable, loving home where he feels completely secure. He still calls me dad every single day, and that word means more to me now than it ever did before. We have our own routines, morning breakfast together, weekend soccer games, and bedtime stories that I refuse to miss. Emily has supervised visitation, but it's limited and awkward. She tries to act like everything is normal when she sees him, but Noah senses the distance. Jake pays child support every month like clockwork, but he has never once tried to see his biological son or acknowledge him publicly. The man who stood as my best man at my wedding now sends money to me for the child he helped create in secret. The irony still hits me sometimes. I never told Noah the full truth, and I don't plan to until he is much older and can understand. For now, he is my son in every way that matters. The house feels like a real home again without the weight of lies hanging over it. I focused on building a good life for both of us, and my business has grown steadily. Some nights the pain of the betrayal still creeps in, but watching Noah laugh and grow up happy heals something deep inside me. This experience taught me that family isn't always about blood. It's about who shows up every single day and chooses to love you. I chose Noah, and I would do it all over again. To every man watching who has been betrayed by his wife or someone he trusted completely, especially when children are involved, know this: sometimes the best revenge is becoming the father your child actually needs, while the people who hurt you lose everything they tried to steal. If this true story touched your heart or made you angry, smash that like button hard right now. Share it with any brother who might be going through betrayal or custody pain. Drop your own stories of infidelity, secret children, or family betrayal in the comments below. I read every single one. Let's build a community that doesn't stay silent. This was my real story. It hurt like hell, but I protected my son and took back control of my life. What's your story? Thanks for staying with me till the end, and stay strong out there.